Come here.
Greetings.
I'd like to use your
Certainly. We're open.
I could use the company of a pretty bathmaid.
Don't worry. Once my girls get their hands on you.
I can't wait.
All right, but money up front.
Let's talk about the...
Certainly.
How's this?
You'll have to make... Excellent. You...
I'm sorry if I startled you. That's just the way I like it. I'd be happy to do it again next time.
Welcome. How about what game?
I actually...
Greetings.
I feel a...
What game would you like?
I actually...
Stop that whistling.
sir. We're on the search for heretics and sorcerers, and I'd like to ask you some questions. So hear me. I am Brother Adelbert from the Order of Preachers, charged by the Holy Father in Rome to root out all heresy. On our travels through this region, we've heard talk of many sightings of a sorcerer who devotes himself to the dark arts at night. They say he looks like a young man, but his heart is black. He travels the region on a horse, accompanied by a dog, and smells of herbs. He wears heavy armor to conceal the weakness of his soul and character, and tends to be armed.
Stop, noble sir. I'm no fool. I can see I closely resemble the sorcerer you're looking for, but I assure you it's just a coincidence. Or maybe you've been misled by someone with wicked intentions. Perhaps it's a trick by the very sorcerer you're looking for.
Oh yes, that is just what an exposed sorcerer would say. But if you are telling the truth, prove your words by offering sincere prayer to our Lord Almighty.
Did you deliberately say you're from the Roman Pope? That was to distance yourself from Benedict of Avignon, wasn't it? It's a sad time for the Mother Church when you have to stress your loyalty to Rome, even to a wayfarer in the middle of Bohemia. Maybe instead of hunting for sorcerers, you should head to the Sedlets Monastery. There you'll find King Sigismund. You can persuade him to release his brother, the rightful king of the Romans. Then Wenceslas and his brother can go to Rome to receive the imperial crown and put an end to this terrible schism.
You're right. This is a difficult time for the church, but in my judgment, it is not for secular rulers to interfere in this state of affairs, for they are the ones who caused it. Nevertheless, I must stay true to my mission. I see you are a man of learning, though. Therefore, you must not be the village sorcerer I have heard about. Please accept my apology. I will continue my search. So go in peace and be vigilant, for the minions of hell are on the hunt for souls in this region. Jesus Christ be praised.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oi! You! Come here! Where do you think you're going?
Into the camp, of course.
Oh, aye. They can't wait to see you. Look here. No strangers are allowed in, so turn around and sod off back to the pile of dung you crawled out of.
The Miskovitz blacksmith sent me with some horseshoes. He said they'd come in handy in the camp.
All right, you can go in, but no messing about.
The people there call themselves the Blemius. They have neither head nor neck. Their face is in the middle of their belly. And these Blemius breed horses with huge ears and birds born out of mud. In the north, there's a land all covered with snow and rocks, where it's always night and green stars shine in the sky. There I saw some strange water monks, who have fins instead of legs, and fleshy cowls on their heads. If you want to hear more, give me a groschen or two. I won't even turn down a bit of soup.
Aye, that's the truth of it. Good day to you. God be with you, good sir.
Dinesh! Moshtas onlar!
Lord be with you.
Would you help me out? I'm looking for someone.
Well, that depends. Who are you looking for?
Victoria. A girl from Miskovitz. They send her up here with goods from the smithy.
You'll have to ask the blacksmith. The smithy is opposite the entrance in the upper part of the camp. If you don't see it, you'll hear it at least. You can't miss the banging of the hammer.
Thanks a lot. I'll ask him.
Take care.
Christ, it's hot out.
Excuse me.
What'll it be?
The bath maids in a military camp must be on their toes all the time, eh?
You can say that again. My girls don't even get a moment's rest all day long. Sometimes I have to drive those randy blokes off with a broom so they can eat and drink in peace.
So the baths bring in the coin?
Not so much, unfortunately. Nobody's battling. Those blokes have nothing to do, and they're running wild. And that's nothing but trouble. They get in fights amongst each other.
Who's causing trouble?
Everybody. But the Hungarians and Cumans most of all. None of us understand their gibberish. When they're in a good mood and have some coin, they can even be quite nice. Then the girls even enjoy taking care of them. But when they're thirsty and skint, they're like animals.
Do the nobles from the upper camp come here too?
Everyone comes here. But we do like seeing the nobles more, because they pay well. And they like taking 2 girls at once.
And do they at least pay twice as much then?
Oh, do they ever? When the girls really make an effort, even 3 times as much.
Show me your wares.
Thank you, and... Come again, sir.
A bit longer and I'll be hunched over like my granny.
A jug of wine, thanks!
Can I ask you something?
You complain? What happened?
What? No, I'm not making a complaint. Why should I?
I chief of soldiers, and I hear only complain and more complain. Always. They kill hands, they scare children, horse trample cabbage and eat carrot. This country full of complaining and whining.
I'm not complaining about anything.
That good. You real man.
What muscles you have. With a man like you, I'd feel safe even in the...
Can I ask you?
You come.
What?
Okay. Take it. This country.
I'm not.
That good.
Dusk.
Gifeli!
I don't have time to sit around in taverns growing my belly. The whole world, and now I will tell you the amazing things I've seen and experienced. In the south, I saw a land without end, all covered in sand, hot and dry, with no fresh water. The people there call themselves the Lennies. Snow and rocks, where it's always night and green stars shine in the sky. There I saw some strange water monks who have fins instead of legs and fleshy cows on their heads. If you want to hear more, give me a groschen or wait for it to write. I won't even turn down a bit of soup. Basmira!
You there, lad!
Aren't you here for the requisitioning?
What about it?
I need to requisition supplies for the camp from the locals. Grub for us, fodder for the horses.
Where do you want to get the supplies?
We haven't been to Bohunjovitz in a while. I reckon they can't wait to see us.
Who's coming along?
Me, and they usually send some humans along because people are afraid of them.
That's not much.
And that's why you're coming with me. But don't worry, I already sent a couple of blokes ahead to get everything ready. I reckon they can handle a few peasants.
Won't the people resist?
They will, but fuck all good it'll do them. We'll chase them out of their houses, bring in the cart, and take whatever we can.
And what if something goes wrong?
That'll only happen if we take our eyes off them. Then there might be bloodshed, but usually not ours.
I don't need to hear any more. Hold on a moment. We'll head out as soon as I get back.
What kind of fucking soldier are you? If I wasn't so low on men, I'd send you back to the shithole you came from. You have 3 days. Then we're leaving without you. You don't want a hungry army on your hands. The men turn into brutes who'll do whatever they can to get their hands on food. They'll kill, steal, and all because of a mutt like you who had something else to do.
Don't worry. I won't let that happen.
How can I help you today, friend?
Does the name Victoria mean anything to you?
No. Should it?
She's a girl from Miskovitz. I heard she comes up here to sell things.
Ah, I know who you mean. Aye. There's a girl who shows up here every now and again. I'm no good with names, but Victoria sounds familiar.
Who did she know best around here?
She got along with the merchants, but I'd say she fancied Black the most.
Who?
A soldier from the provisioning unit. I'd say her business dealings were more of an excuse to meet with him.
Where can I find this soldier Black?
He's lying in the infirmary. He's got gut ache, and you can hear him howling halfway across the camp.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him. What do you have for sale? I'd like to discuss...
Well, finally. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
You silly doggy.
God be with you, my friend.
Amigas, te hullo jelölt. Imádkozz, bocsadék!
Na mi van? Összeszartad magad?
Dögölj már meg! A fenébe! Nem érek rá egész nap! Vigyen el jobba, csán!
Nincs esélyed, te nyomorult!
My God, what's taking so long?
A következővel a pokot...
Someone's lying here.
What? You shouldn't be bothering us here.
God bless you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. My name is Henry, and
Forget the pleasantries. Czego chcesz?
I've come about Sir Jerzek of Holoclawy.
Ależ, no w takim razie to zacznij gość, prawda? Such a distinguished visit. What do you want from me?
I want you to give him his things back. His armor and horse.
Oh, you want them, do you? Well, I suppose I ought to get right to it. And toss in a few extra groschen on top, eh? I'd rather let the armor rust than give it back to Jerzek. Did he even tell you how he lost it?
He told me you argued, and he challenged you to a duel.
And did he tell you why?
Because you torched a village full of innocent people.
Innocent people? Precz tego skurwysyna. They tried to cheat us. They gave us sacks full of sand instead of flour. They knew exactly what could happen to them.
But I understand that you're mad at Jerzek, but he needs help. It's just not right for a lord to become a thief.
So that is what his lordship from Holoclawy is doing now.
What else is left when you've taken everything from him? You're the only one who can do anything about it.
Yes, maybe I can send my men to drag him here in chains and lash him with a whip.
Now, you know what? Since there's no reasoning with you, we'll do it another way. In the name of Sir Jerzek, I challenge you to a duel.
You? You'd better turn around and be glad I'm not going to kick your ass out of here.
Well now, is the brave knight afraid he might lose to me? What would your men say about that?
Careful, boy. You have been quite entertaining so far, but I will not be mocked.
All the more reason to give me a good beating then, isn't it? And in public, no less.
Well, if you want it so badly, let us do this properly. We will engage in 3 rounds. Pole arms first, then short swords and shields. And finally, like proper knights, with long swords. Each man shall take his own weapons and armor, and whoever bests their opponent in at least 2 rounds wins. I will wager Jerzek's horse and knightly armor. You match the price in groschen. What do you say?
I accept.
Excellent! Get yourself the necessary armor and equipment. When you are ready, bring me the coin, and we will start.
to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
One beer.
What? What is it you need?
It's like I'm invisible or something.
Good to see you.
Careful.
Greetings.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
Good day, sir.
I'll have a look at the web.
What can you do, sir?
I'm sorry!
Greetings to you. How can I help?
I saw the arena and the stands and thought to myself, this looks like a tournament, eh?
You're too late, lad. There used to be competitions here almost every day. Bets flying left and right. But that's been over for quite some time. All you can do now is a bit of archery. They haven't banned that yet.
Why'd they ban it?
Captain von Owlitz and Lord von Berghoff heard blokes were killing each other here.
You fought with sharp weapons?
Of course not. That was forbidden. But the Cumans fucked it all up. Fucking vermin.
So what happened then?
One of our companies went against the Cumans. It's a fight like any other. But those fuckers had a score to settle with us and brought sharp weapons. Our fellas came away from there in bad shape. Most of them never recovered. And then Command banned the fights.
So that's it then? No more tournaments?
Aye, probably. Because that wasn't the first cock-up. Cumans, Germans, Praguers, they all hate each other and are always at each other's throats. But without the tournaments and betting, the blokes don't have anything to do anymore, and they're starting to get testy. Now their camp is starting to look more and more like a wasp's nest. But you'll see for yourself soon enough.
So there won't be any fighting? That's all I need to know.
Take care.
Show me your wares.
Huh? Nothing to your liking, sir?
Excuse me.
Christ, what now?
Greetings to you.
What would you like, friend?
Can you explain to me the archery contest rules?
It's simple. Listen. You get your arrows or bolts, stand on your mark, and shoot at your target, aiming to get the most points. You get 1 point for the plus if we've got the more experience.
I'll have a look at the... I'd like to do something...
Well...
How's this?
You must be... This is... I'm done... Thank you, sir. And come again.
I'd like to
Your first time, eh? I don't remember. What's it to be?
Bow.
All right. So, what? Of course, it's tougher against masters, but you can win more.
Nah, I'd rather...
Fine.
Hang on. Yeah, here it is.
Wait a while until I get the other archers. Meanwhile, you can get ready. Get in line. And loot. Bollocks! No! Hold on. I nailed it! Right in the bullseye. Smack bag in the middle. I won!
Good doggy, good boy.
Put that weapon away now. You won't be shooting here. Very good. No more fooling around. Nothing to your liking, sir.
Christ almighty. Are you alright, sir?
Here we go again.
It's just that you look...
Muscular, wise, wealthy.
I'm sorry, sir. I just wasn't expecting it. I didn't mean it badly.
I know very well what you meant. I have had this conversation at least 100 times. Have you never heard of Prester John or the Christian kingdom of Axum?
Yes. Our parish priest talked about that.
Tell me then, how the people in those stories are described. Not exactly like you. Am I right?
But I thought that was just...
So you see, it is not. Musa of Mali is my name. Scholar, explorer, and physician. I run the camp infirmary.
My name is Henry, sir.
Welcome then, Henry. Do you need anything?
You said you're an explorer?
I did indeed. From Timbuktu, I went to Holy Mecca. From the Emirate of Granada to Venice. And from there, to the court of Sultan Bayezid of the Osmans. Until I ended up at the court of King Sigismund.
Where is this Mali? And what's it like?
Similar to your country, yet completely different. You mine silver, we gold. But in our country, it would never happen that we allow foreigners into our mines. Overall, it is safer in our country. Nobody will waylay you on your journey. And we treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning.
That's not all that bad here, though, is it?
I admit that there are some things I envy you for. Like what you can do with stone.
What is Mecca like? I've heard people from all over the world go there.
Mainly followers of the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Praise be his name. But the journey is dangerous. I was robbed and arrived in the city as a pauper. Fortunately, I was helped by a couple of my compatriots. But even so, I did not spend long there. Let us say that I was foolish then, and foreign customs took me by surprise. I went to Cairo, where I learned geography and law, so that I would be better prepared the next time. But I never went back to Mecca.
Why not?
I would rather not talk about this, my friend. All I can say is that there are a few rich men and their beautiful wives who I do not want to meet again.
You were in Granada? Where is that?
Go west from here until you reach the sea. Then south to a place called Peninsula Iberica. But I would not go there if I were you. The magnificent Alhambra Palace is forbidden to Christians like you. It is a pity in any case. Such a beautiful and rich country, yet bathed in so much blood.
Blood?
Yes. Sultan Mohammed must constantly repel attacks from the north. That is why I started studying physics, in fact. I wanted to make an impression on the Sultan because swords and cannons are not for me. Let others cut off heads. I can sew them back on again.
Where is Venice, in fact?
You do not know, my friend? Educate yourself a little. It is not far from here, on the other side of the Alps. Remember that learning is like a garden. If you do not tend it, it cannot bear fruit. Venice is an incredible city that floats on the sea, like a huge stone ship. People from all over the world go there to trade. I help them as a translator, especially for Christian envoys from Ethiopia on a pilgrimage to Rome. If only you could have seen their glorious arrival in the city. Their procession stretched from the port to the city center, and they had live leopards as a gift for the king of Venice. But I did not stay long. I, who was accustomed to the Sultan's court, being asked to live among sailors, out of the question.
How did you come to be with the Osmans?
By complete chance. In Venice, I joined an expedition that was heading to India, but we were attacked by pirates. Fortunately, I was saved by Sultan Bayezid's warship, though it did not seem like good fortune at the time. You must understand that there are not many of my countrymen among the Osmans. The last time was probably in the days of Mansa Musa, but the Sultan soon found out that I had lived among Europeans, and I could talk to all the envoys who came to him, so I became useful.
So why didn't you stay there?
Because we were about to be overwhelmed by the Golden Horde, led by the butcher named Timur. I had quite enough of war in Granada. So when envoys from Hungary came to the Sultan, I managed to persuade them to take me away with them.
What's Sigismund's court like?
I would also like to know that, my friend. But I am stuck here. One would think that the king would value physicians and sages who have traveled the world. But no. He did not even make me his personal physician. He prefers to trust your quacks and sent me here.
It's reckless to speak about Sigismund like that.
I do not think so, my friend, since it is unlikely you will ever get a chance to complain to him.
Why did you leave your country of birth?
That is a very personal question, and we are not that well acquainted yet. Forgive me, but I would rather not talk about it. Not now, at least.
I'm new to the camp. Could you show me around? If you don't have too much work, that is.
Well, I suppose it will be all right, if I am not here for a while. At least I can practice your language. You use some strange phrases, you know? But that does not matter now. Let us go. So, as you have no doubt realized, this is my infirmary. One part for operating on the wounded, another for the sick, my alchemist bench, a tub of water, nothing out of the ordinary. Come on, let us walk outside. I am sorry that I cannot show you more, but I am sure you understand that there is not much to see. One is almost ashamed to call it an infirmary. Do you not think?
That's true. I thought King Sigismund would take better care of his wounded men.
Unfortunately for them, my friend, I suppose he has bigger problems than keeping his army healthy and fighting fit.
It's lucky he sent an expert like you here, though.
Was that praise or an insult? I cannot tell. I do not think it fortunate in any case. Someone with my knowledge, and all I do is treat diarrhea and broken bones.
Well, camp like this is a waste of your abilities. An uneducated orderly could take care of the handful of sick people here.
And you would like to take over from me? Hmm? I could find another job, though it is true that you do not seem to be any great sage. I suppose you do not know what a real infirmary should look like. But do not worry. There are more cheerful places in the camp. I am sure something will take your fancy. This part of the camp is mainly for humans. So if you are looking for one, he will be either here or near the bathhouse. We will take a look there too. Do not worry. Over there is the pen where they used to have tournaments. Until the captains banned them. But that is a long story. Speaking of the captains here, do you know who is in charge overall?
Aye, I know something about that. You have 3 captains now, don't you?
Exactly. I can see that you take an interest. The camp as a whole is run by Sir Grozav or Borumlaka. That is a village somewhere in Transylvania, as far as I know. He is an interesting man, I'm sure. But he has a lot of trouble with the camp. So he tends to be, as you say, grumpy.
Excuse me?
Then there are the humans, who are commanded in battle by Cheritan. You will not meet him very often. He often has meetings with the king himself, in Zedlets. He is not a very cheerful man, but he seems a fair-minded commander to me. And he is an outstanding archer, it seems. How about you and archery, my friend?
Well, I don't want to boast, but I'm a pretty good archer. I would happily take on your Cheritan.
Really? That sounds like a spectacle that I would perhaps even pay to watch. Perhaps, although I successfully avoid weapons, I have to admit that archery is not just a skill. It is an art. Well, there is enough of that. What were we talking about?
You were telling me about the commanders here.
Ah, yes. The camp captains. As I said, Sir Grozav commands the camp. Cheritan commands in battle. And the third one joined us a few weeks ago. Dietrich Katz, with his Prague artillery regiment. It is a pity you will not be staying for longer. Dietrich is good to talk to, if he is not drinking too much. And over there is our bathhouse. It is not a sight for sore eyes, my friend. I mean, the women, of course. Not this filthy place. Ah, a man should keep reminding himself that zina, what you call fornication, is a shameful deed, opening a road to other evils. By the way, what about you and women, my friend? What? Are you shy? Come now. As a physician, I am only concerned for your health. Physical and mental. You should find a good woman as soon as possible, and then marry her. And to do her what you see in her eyes. Our Lord Allah, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, creates us in pairs and grants us love in our hearts, so that we may love another.
So are you married, sir? Since you say how wonderful it is.
No, not yet. What woman would want to spend her life traveling with me? But being single does not permit sinning with any girl who takes your fancy. Remember that. Fortunately, a man can help himself in his hour of need. At least if he thereby prevents a worse sin. So, in this part of the camp, you see the tents of various mercenaries from Germany, Poland, Hungary. In short, everyone who came to fill their pockets. You can have items repaired by the smith, and if you're hungry, the kitchen is over there. The food will please you more than me, I think. Treating meat in that way. I simply cannot eat it. Do you know where the food is truly great? In Granada. So much fruit, sweet pastries, fish. In one banquet, the cooks use more spices than your entire country in a year.
You've been to Granada?
In the court of Sultan Muhammad
welcome
VII
here,
himself.
noble sir.
That is where I became a physician.
Excuse
That
me.
was when Granada was attacked by Martin Yanez de la Barbuda. And I did not want to die in some battle. So I found a safer way to be useful. You know, I have done a lot of traveling, my friend. From Timbuktu to Mecca. And from Granada to Venice. And now, here. But nowhere has the food been worse than here.
What do you dislike about the food here so much?
I hope I have not offended you. It is not your fault, really.
Call off that dog!
How can a cook make something good when no pepper, cinnamon, or grains of paradise grow here? But your country is beautiful, all the same. And up here is where Katz's company of Parge artillerymen are belittled.
Quiet!
To the
Go
great
away.
displeasure of everyone else in the camp. I must
That's
say,
what I thought.
you can see why. It is the best spot, right next to the captains. And when it rains, all the filth runs downhill to the Cumans and mercenaries areas. Here is the pillory. May Allah, the compassionate, ensure you never end up in it. And if you go around the hill, you will come to the camp shooting range. I recommend visiting it. The Cumans must be born with a bow in their hands. But I will not escort you that far, my friend. I do not like to leave the infirmary unattended for long. Alaka Anben.
And how do you like Bohemia?
Do you want to hear the truth? Or should I praise it to high heaven?
The truth. You don't need to spare my feelings.
Then, all I can say is that this muddy hill is about the only thing I have seen of your country. And that has not made much of an impression on me. But there is still time. Perhaps I will have the good fortune to see more beautiful sights.
I saw an arena in the camp. When will there be a tournament?
Firstly, I would not call it a tournament. Rather, mindless hacking. Not even a chogan is so terrible. And, to answer your question, there will not be any. The commanders wisely banned them.
Why did they ban the tourneys?
Because it went too far. Instead of matching skills, people settled scores with each other. They killed each other from rage and also from boredom. Since the tournament was banned, I have a lot less work with mending fractures.
What did you mean by mindless hacking? It's a tourney, isn't it?
Merely dumb violence for its own sake. It is not chivalrous like Pharisea.
What does that mean? Furiasia?
Pharisea, the skill set of an Arab warrior. Where I come from, every fighter must be able to ride a horse and take care of its injuries and illnesses. In addition, he should also be able to hold his own when fighting with a spear and a sword. And of course, excel in archery. And above all, he must not be a coward, but on the contrary, an honorable man.
Furiasia sounds to me like the chivalry of every good knight. Maybe with the exception of that horse medicine of yours.
Really?
But a good Christian knight should also know how to dance, play chess, and write poetry.
Very interesting. It is a pity. I have not met many like that. Those are all true wisdoms. Also in the name of Allah.
What's that chogan, then?
A riding game. Very hard and dangerous. Two teams of riders with wooden mallets try to get a leather ball into the opponent's goal. Whoever does so more times wins.
And what's so dangerous about that?
When the mallet lands on your head. In any case, nothing teaches you how to ride a horse better than Shogun.
worthy of the promises of Christ. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy great...
Greetings. What would you like?
What's a priest doing in a military camp?
Whatever he can, my son. Whatever he can.
Do you serve Mass like other priests?
I serve Mass and give blessings just like my brothers in churches and parishes. I can also officiate at marriages and administer last rites. I reckon you can guess which is more common here.
Do you care for the wounded? Priests and monks do that sometimes, don't they?
Nothing like that. We have blacksmiths and bathmaids for that here. And if something happens to the nobles, we have good surgeons. And then there's that learned foreigner. Bah!
Who's the foreigner?
His name is Musa, and he says he comes ex-Africa. You can't miss him. He's as different from us as a man can be.
Does something seem strange about him to you?
That foreigner may understand medicine, but he worships a foreign god. He prays to him on the ground several times a day. He doesn't drink ale, only rarely eats meat, yet he can't keep his eyes off our women.
Do you take part in the fighting?
Vivere militare est. But no, I'm a chaplain, not a warrior. But no matter if you're a beggar or a lord, there's no way to escape the horrors. And in a place like this, it's easy for people to forget about God, or at least start to doubt.
Do you serve King Sigismund directly?
I serve our Lord, but the king sometimes calls on me for confession.
What could the king possibly have to confess?
You don't actually expect me to tell you that, do you? That's between me, the king, et Domine Noster. God be with you.
Word, Hail Mary, and the Word was made flesh. Careful! Hey! You're not allowed here! Well, what's it going to be? Piss off! Correct, you nightcrawler!
You silly doggy. You mangy mutts.
Leave it! Shoot!